So I was asked the other day what I think of this helmet, the new Fox Proframe. I guess it's an enduro specific helmet, or just giving you better protection without the lack of breathability that you get from a full downhill helmet. Now I've been running it for maybe 5 or 6 months. It's really, really light, really, really breathable. I can wear it all day, it's fine, it doesn't bother me at all. You sweat a little bit, but you don't get that restrictive breathing that you get from most full faces, because I mean, if you have a look at it, you know, you can stick your hand through all of this stuff here, so it's really, really, really open, and a massive open space here. Now, the visor doesn't move, that's not adjustable, that stays where it is, which I really don't like, because when I'm wearing it, I don't know whether it's just the shape of my head, I'm assuming it is. I've got a small, and I've used the thicker pads that come with the smalls to make it as small as possible and as tight as possible on my head. But what happens is, when it's on, it still creeps down a tiny bit, so this encroaches on my field of vision. When you're trying to look up, especially in a faster track, all I'm seeing is this and then the track, like a veranda on the track, and it really puts me off. So I'm always readjusting it and trying to get my hair to hold it in the right spot, so I don't like that. I think it's made for someone with more of a rounder head. I've got a real narrow, streamlined head, I guess you could call it. The padding inside of it, so you've got a good rubber molding all around this chin piece, so if you do have an impact, you're going to impact on the softer rubber versus just a hard plastic, which is great, exactly what you need. This padding here, it's very thin, and it doesn't take long to compress and become smaller than it was initially, so I think that's why I'm getting a bit of play in that helmet as well. And if you look inside of it, you've got the MIPS frame, so that helps the helmet move independently of the pads, I guess, or of your head a little bit, helps it rotate a little bit. Again, there's very, very little padding between you and the actual helmet shell, so if you take a big whack, it is still going to hurt. It's going to do its job and it's going to protect you, but it's still going to be a big whack, and it may lead to a concussion. I'm not too sure. So protection wise, I don't find it very protective in comparison to, say, a D3 or a full downhill helmet, but if you're comparing it to wearing a half lid, I think it's a no-brainer. It's just as breathable. The only problem is when I've got earphones in, sometimes they get tugged on by the pads and pull out or get in weird positions, so you can't have your earphones in as comfortably as you can with a half lid. Otherwise, if you need a helmet that's, you know, reasonable price, I don't think it's super cheap. I think they're about $300, but still a reasonable price and ample protection, heaps more protection than wearing your half lid. You got your whole face covered. I haven't actually worn goggles in this helmet yet, so I'm not too sure how to go, but there's a lot of room for that, so I'm assuming Fox have obviously prepared for that. Overall, yeah, I think it's a good helmet. I'm going to try something different. I want to get a D3. I want that ultimate protection around my head, because you just never know what could happen. You're better off to have it and never use it than need it and not have it. So I'm going to go a D3, or maybe the new POC. The new POC seems like it's a really good helmet, and it's probably breathes a little bit better than the D3. But for now, this will do me. This is great. Haven't really had any impacts on it yet. It's got a bit of blood on it from when I busted my elbow up, but that's just some keepsake, I guess. Overall, it's a good helmet. So try one on before you buy it. Make sure you get the right fit, and make sure that it's super tight when you put it on, because like I said, these pads will compress. They get smaller over time as the sweat builds up in them, and you wash them, you know, a few times, and they just lose that thickness and that grab. So you want it almost too tight when you first get it. That's it.